cooperative care. What is it? So when we talk about cooperative care with dogs, or indeed any animal or human, child, baby, we're looking for someone or something to be a willing participant in an activity. Now, you'll hear cooperative care used a lot in maybe veterinary settings. A lot of behaviourists will talk about cooperative care. For me, it goes beyond just those veterinary appointments or those grooming appointments. Cooperative care is something that you can bring into everyday activities with your dog. And now I'm going to be talking about dogs, obviously, because that's what I do, but really it can be put across all sorts of things. All animals and all humans should have the choice of cooperative care, and that's a big thing, choice. You will go through your day with your dog, probably not really thinking about things, not really thinking about what your dog is thinking, how your dog is feeling perhaps. But I'd like to encourage you to just pause and think about it, and really think to yourself, okay, does my dog want to do X, Y, or Z? Is my dog a willing participant in X, Y, or Z? A lot of times you can use cooperative care for veterinary procedures, opting in for an injection, opting in for an oral exam, an ear exam, an eye exam. A good example that I use is with a dog that I have looked after for a long time. He's getting older, and he sometimes gets a little bit of build up in the corner of his eyes. Now, it's not a particularly pleasant thing to have someone come and wipe the goop out of your eyes, but it's a necessary thing. It needs to be done. So I taught him to opt into that. So I will say, it's not a great cue word, but it's just the one that came to mind. So whichever eye he has the build-up in, I will tap underneath my eye, whichever side it is, and I will say gooper, which is a really grim word. Now I say it out loud and other people are going to be hearing it, but I will tap and say gooper, and he may turn his head away, he may walk away, and I know that means he's not ready. Like he's not ready to have me remove that build-up from his eyes. However, if he stays there, so I'll say gooper, if he stays there, I'll just put one hand just resting on top of his head, one hand under his chin so I can get his eye in the corner. And he knows that at that point I'm going to get the crust out of his eyes, and he's fine with it. He is the type of dog that is very compliant, very cooperative anyway, and it would be very easy to just do things to him. That sounds bad, but you know, just wipe out his ears, just wipe out his eyes. But by giving him the choice, giving him the autonomy to opt in or opt out, means that he is more comfortable, means that he can ready himself, means that my bond with him is even better. There is a mutual respect. We're having a conversation. I am asking him a question, he is giving me an answer, and beyond that, he knows and trusts that I will listen to him. The other thing you do this with quite often is nail trimming. It's not a particularly pleasant experience for dogs. They don't naturally like their feet to be touched. And I will have a video where I show you how I do that. But beyond that, it will be maybe on a walk. Well, you might not think you need cooperative care on a walk. You think, well, my dog just likes to walk. But actually, does your dog just like to walk? What does your dog want to do on that walk? So for me, cooperative care even goes into that, where I'm asking them a question. Do you want to walk? Do you want to go this way? Do you want to go that way? And listening to what they say. Do you want to just stand here and sniff for 10 minutes? That's okay. And if you want to do that, I'm going to listen to you. It means that when you ask your dog to do something, they know that you're going to listen. And it makes them more willing to be involved. And I think that can only be a good thing. The downsides of not using cooperative care, for the majority of dogs, you won't notice much of a downside, really, because the way we've bred them over the years, the way they have become part of our lives, is they are naturally very complicit. They want to please us. They adapt very easily, even in situations and circumstances that they might not find particularly comfortable. They will comply. So you may not even realise the impact it will have. But if you didn't use cooperative care with a dog that had potentially complex behavioural issues, you would very quickly realise that you weren't getting very far. You would have to do things by force, which we obviously never want to do. I say we never want to do. People do. You see it more often with smaller dogs, with puppies, with small breeds, toy breeds especially. If they're not doing something that we want them to do, we might just pick them up. We might just drag them because there's not much weight to them. But really, that's not the best way of doing things if we think about it. Because every behaviour that a dog is showing us, they're doing for a reason. And now with the bigger dogs, or potentially dogs that have had to resort to aggression or displays of aggression because people are not listening to them, that's where cooperative care will come in. You don't want a dog to have to get to that point to escalate their behaviour because they're not being listened to, because they're not being heard. But if you start off with cooperative behaviour, cooperative care, your dog never has to get to that point because they know that there's always a chance to opt out. When I'm doing this cooperative care for nail trimming, for instance, some days I might be able to do all 4 feet, and some days I might get 3 nails trimmed in 20 minutes, and that's okay. We just try again another day. Because just like humans, dogs are complex emotional beings. They're sentient, they have emotions, they have feelings, they have thoughts, they have opinions, and to not take that into consideration is really doing them a disservice, I think. That's my opinion. And just like us, they'll have good days and they'll have bad days. Not every day is going to be the same for your dog. Some days I wake up and I've slept funny and my neck hurts and my back hurts and maybe I have a headache, and on those days I am not performing at my best. Maybe I don't want people to hug me, maybe I don't even really want people to talk to me. I just quite like people to leave me alone. Our dogs have those same feelings. You know, have you ever considered that your dog might not want to be stroked? Have a think about that. Have a think about that. How many times have you asked your dog if they want to be stroked, if they want to be touched, and how many times have you listened to their answer? It's an interesting concept, and I think not one that a lot of people consider, but food for thought.